It's Nick Short's BB Remix, and this is where I'll explore the social dynamic of Big Brother through videos and shorts. I capture live footage between the house guests before "You Are Not Allowed to Talk About Production" comes over the loudspeaker. Each week, look for brand new videos, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video, and be sure to comment to say hello.
Last night, like jumping in that bed, I had a whole different just knockout, especially because my brain was so fried you couldn't even stay up anymore. After the DR, coming out here talking to everyone, going back upstairs talking, and it needed to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was fuming, dude. I was really trying to hold back.
Yeah.
Because Paloma's so sweet, and I can't imagine anyone being rude to anyone in this house right now, whatever. But sweet little Paloma, I was like, nah, dude, that's not fucking cool. And so to kind of even though it's still talking about game or whatever it's considered, I needed that wind down. So and then as soon as I hit the bed, it wasn't me thinking about it. It was all right, I'm out.
You got to come out. Yeah.
In the worst, and unfortunately, but the best way possible, I'm just out. And it might have been 3 hours.
Yeah, but at least it was something, man.
Woke up, did this, now I'm doing 20-minute naps in between.
Yeah.
Luckily, tour life kind of helped me get prepared for this life.
Yeah.
Where you sleep for 5 hours and perform and tour and do laundry in between shows and stuff like that. But hopefully, this is my hope that everyone is coming from your angle, where it's give this guy 1 week break.
Yeah, no, real talk, bro.
I think if anything, the only person I'd be fearful of, out of respect of the game, is Michael getting HOH.
Yeah.
Because he has a reason to put me up.
Yeah.
And so he could just say, yo, right back at you out of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope he would put me up opposed to backdoor.
Yeah.
That would be the only fear. But other than that, I hope I'm in good standing with everyone else.
Yeah.
To experience the other side of the game.
Yeah. To truly just be a house guest.
You know what I mean? And play the other side of the field.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a whole different week for me. Mm-hmm. Same with whoever's going to be HOH, they'll get this experience. It's all right, the different sides.
Yeah.
Of experience and pressure. I'm sure there's a pressure on your guys' side too. The scrambling of what if Daniel did switch it up, whatever. Yeah. So I'm excited to experience it. Obviously, every position's gonna have its scary parts. Mm-hmm. So, but that's why we're part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes it exciting for us and hopefully entertaining for viewership that we know of the shows we've seen of it. But I don't know.
Well, I think this, and it's a blessing and a curse in my mind. It's a blessing and it's unfortunate that Taylor did what she did, because, like I said, any HOH, I think a successful week, I truly believe is getting a unanimous vote to evict somebody.
Someone else mentioned that too, yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that there's any bloodshed for you, because I think the closest person to her was Nicole. And now that Nicole has found out what the deal is and how everybody feels about her, and then even just how she's rubbing off on people, even if she didn't lie to me, that in itself is enough to consider. To say okay, she's maybe a little bit socially isolated.
Yeah.
If I put her up on the block, maybe she'll be voted out, majority vote anyway. But then the cherry on top is that she lied to me, and now all of these things are coming out about she's saying all this stuff.
People are feeling more comfortable of okay, I'm not gonna look like an idiot or whatever. Exactly. People will believe now, and then you hear all these little things, and that's how life is, dude. Right. When someone says this person did this to me, all these people come forward.
Exactly.
Same thing in this small world here.
Right.
And it's just, so people find confidence in going, all right, confidence in numbers, and I'll speak up now. And
exactly.
And like you said, or I even said last night, those little things were enough for me to go.
Yeah.
They said what to you, Jasmine? As far as your size and stuff.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I never once thought about any physicality of any of you. And even if you are thinking about, why would you say that? And then obviously we didn't know that, but now Jasmine felt more comfortable saying something because there's a bigger target on her and on Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think I told everyone out here in Terrence, I was it's unfortunately perfect.
Yeah.
that this is happening because there's a common enemy, at least for the first week, that Michael's safe, Terrence is now safe.
Right.
Like, where it's like, yo, like, are we all on the same page? If I put her up, are you all going to be with me?
Yeah.
I just want a yes from everyone. If you're cool with that, you'll know the day I do it. I'm going to come out at the angle like you said last night. You know, I'm glad it wasn't last night because I would have been like, yo, I ain't saying, like, you know exactly what you just say it. You'll figure out. Like,
you would have been on some thug shit, like, you know exactly what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but like, yeah, I like, we were like, I'm going to tell you how to play your game, but don't do that.
Because I was just like, look, I don't, you're going to give her the satisfaction of knowing and trying to scheme. No, she doesn't deserve that. And also what I'll say too is another beauty in all that is you got one person who you have to worry about when they drinks next week, as opposed to who knows if you didn't know who Taylor was connected with.
Yeah.
You know now everybody's going to
Everyone.
know, and that nobody is going to look at you and be like, outside of Michael for putting you up, right? And you know, Terrence too, like, I think he understands the situation, and I think it's pretty empathetic to, like, you just had to pick two people, and, you know, it is what it is there. But at least those are, like, the only people you have to worry about is Michael and Terrence, as opposed to, like, the unknown connections that Taylor would have. Now you know, next week, it's a small portion of people that could win HOH that I may have to worry about. And even then, I still think there could be some massaging done in that situation.
Yeah.
And you can still win the power of veto, get yourself off the block, save yourself, and move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that that's your scenario.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, damn, I booted somebody off. I don't know who the hell they were talking to, or if there were a lot of people who did like that person and are gonna, like, maybe show a certain face to me right now, but are really looking to put me on the block next week. You don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I think with Terrence, from the beginning, I told him and Michael, I don't have a target. Like, I'm gonna let people vote however they want. It doesn't have to be like, if you guys want to just start, you know, canvassing to like get votes, do what you gotta do. But now that it's like, I have a much more solid thought of a target where it's like, all right, can we just make this unanimous to let Terrence know we have your back, bro? We all accept you here, and there's no one against you.
Right.
You could reset. I even know last night it's not fair that you're on the block in the first place, but it is what it is. And like, and I think because I said it in front of people, you could just see the love in his eyes, like, dope. Like, that I'm just being real. It's like, I'm gonna tell in front of Terrence right now that if I put her up, you guys down to vote out? And there was like, And even before all this happened, I think I mentioned it last night, but like all the talks I had yesterday, I could say 99% she was like the number one. She could go. But it's probably because there's all there's been all these little things that we weren't aware of with Jasmine, with that every girl was like, I was like, you could say that, like, if she went, I wouldn't be mad.
Right.
And it's like either the vibe or something happened, a comment, a look, and like, and so it was already pretty high up there. And like, of course, I was throwing on other ideas of like who else, because to keep it open and be aware of it, but it seemed pretty across the board. This tipped it, where it's like, I'm not stupid, and like this, I gotta make sure it don't even matter if the house comfortable or not, but like going after someone like Paloma, like, it's unreal to me. Like, I couldn't even imagine.
And just to bring it back to Terrence, man. So after we left your room, go downstairs, and did Nicole tell you the story about like when he found out that people weren't like vibing with Taylor or anything like that? This shit's hilarious, man. Because Terrence, I know he was stressed and, you know, thinking like, oh man, like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the votes. And especially after the veto, he felt like, you know, he probably let himself down.
Oh, I saw him, tears in his eyes, and I like,
you can see it on his face, right? So he's about as down and out as possible. So, and I'm laughing because there's a silver lining. So Nicole apparently goes up to Terrence. She's like, hey Terrence, did you know that apparently there's a lot of people who don't like Taylor? And he probably tells it better than me, but Terrence was just like, what? But like, he says he was saying what as if like a sign of relief. Like, now I don't gotta worry about going home. You mean this? God damn.
He knew in that moment, like,
yeah, in that moment, he knew, like, wait, there's a chance for me? Like, there's a sliver of hope. And I just thought that was, like, such a beautiful thing for him, man. Like,
and that was before all this happened?
No, this is, like...
Or last night?
Yeah, this was yesterday. Yeah, like, sort of, like, in the midst of everybody finding all this information out, like, Nicole is telling him, and he's receiving it. He's like, hallelujah, like, you know, like, but not in to an extent of like saying, because he didn't know that people felt that way about Taylor, and I don't think a lot of guys probably knew it.
Yeah.
I think most guys knew that she kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but didn't know it from like the woman's perspective. You know? So for Terrence, it came as a surprise, but it was like a relief, because he's like, wait, like, I got a chance to stay. You know? And I love that for him because I want him to stay, man. Like, he's such good vibes, positive energy, and I'd much rather have somebody like him than somebody who I'm worried is going to be starting rumors or making people feel uncomfortable and all that sort of stuff. So this is, I think, literally everything has worked out really ideally. Unfortunately,
it's weirdly best case scenario now. Like, how did it go from what am I going to do worst case scenario to
obvious choice?
Just the two people I didn't want to send home are going to stay.
Right.
I'll deal with Michael, you know, as far as the game, and hopefully we can, you know, work things out. But like, it doesn't matter. Like, the two people I didn't want to go home are staying.
Right.
And then also, now we have a target that seems to be unanimous and technically no blood on my hands. Right. Like, in the general sense. So yeah. I was like, it's weird how that works out in this house. Like, sometimes, like, watching a season, it's like, oh, like, damn, overnight that shit changed. And right here, it was like over 2 hours. I left for 2 hours, and then, like, I came upstairs, and Brittany goes, you don't know what happened. I was like, when? Meaning, like, what, in the comp? Like, she goes, oh, right now. I was like, it's like 1 a.m. What could happen right now?
It's like things just blew up.
And coming from sweet Brittany, and Michael's just standing there because he like wanted to talk. And then Michael's like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I was like, well, can you tell me? And Michael's just smiling. He's just standing there. And then Brittany's like, oh, Taylor went after Paloma. And I said, the fuck? Like, are you joking?
Right.
No, say no more.
Right.
I trust you.
Right.
Love Paloma.
Right.
Fuck it. Yeah. And then, of course, I heard everyone out, and mostly from you, how it solidified. Like, obviously, I trust you, and like how honest you were last night. And it's like, yo, like, this is what it is. Like, it's fucked up.
And I hate it. I really do hate it. And I can say that I hate this because, like, being an African-American male, Afro-Latino male, like, I know that there's people watching who, and I don't give a fuck what people say, because I know what the truth is. And I don't care if you're freaking brown, white, purple, freaking indigo, like, I don't care what you are. If you are sitting here lying to my face, you don't deserve to be here. You know? Why do this week one of all things? Like, I played this game. What benefit did it bring to you? To like put you know, like, it just didn't make sense. I was like, if somebody's character is that low, like, I have to tell people, because I'm not gonna sit here and worry about what people looking at this show are gonna think. Because maybe they had these expectations of me being a black man, not coming after a black woman in this house, but she's a person, and at the end of the day, if she did wrong, I'm gonna call it out. It doesn't matter what a person looks like. So like that's been like the hardest part for me, but I know I can live with it, because I know that I made the right decision for everybody in this house, and I know just by how everything has played out, so, you know, imperfectly perfect, that it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and like, in the same sense, but obviously a different angle, one of my struggles, literally, since considering her, and hearing your perspective would be nice, but like, I don't like the look of, I have two black people at the end of my week on the block. We know what's the situation, and I don't know what's gonna air and all that, and that's fine, that's part of the gig. But in that same aspect, I have to go, I can't think about that. Like I can't.
Can't.
It happened the way it did, and it's pressure if I really think about it, because I don't want to be considered that person. I'm not that person. All that things, but like having reasons behind it, I just hope it's shown validly.
Yeah.
Our experience, you getting lied to, me finding out, like all that stuff. But whatever it is, what it is.
It is what it is.
And it's like we have to deal with our story in here, and that is the beauty of the show, not knowing the outside world, you know.
Very cool.
But we know the truth, and moving forward, we're all gonna like, you know, look out for each other and like build different stories and keep moving forward. So, just so you know, that has been a struggle because I do care because you're Black too, and it's like, dude, it's not something that I'm proud of. That at the end of my week, there's 2 Black people on the block, like. You know, I was just hoping for the best as far as like storytelling, but we have to do what we have to do to move forward in this game.
Yeah, and I also thought about that for you too, because I was like, dang, you know, the aesthetics of it from the surface level, there is nothing but logic, reason, and evidence that gives you enough validation for that decision. You know what I'm saying? So like, from my perspective, from anybody watching, I don't care how they edit this. I know that I can vouch for you, whatever happens after the show, that Dan was a solid dude. I know he wasn't doing it from like I'm trying to get the Black people out of the house. Like, that's not where he was coming from at all. And a brother came to him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You gave it the information.
exactly. Like, I gave you the information.
And my love for Terrence, dude, like, you know, I don't expect everything to be shown, but like, he's the homie, dude. I love just like chilling. And he made me laugh from the moment we fucking walked in his house, like at the meeting. He was going off, dude. I was like dying. But so that, I just want to let you know that is like a thought in the same aspect but different angle. But yeah, like she could have easily worked with you in the sense of to go back on that, like even a couple of weeks. Not that you guys would be like cookout number 2, but like you could have easily been like, yo, like at least like let's look out for each other because cookout was successful. We should be careful. You know, that's easy to go with that angle. And she missed that opportunity to at least like align for a little bit, you know, like to help each other out. And
that's the thing, man, is that, you know, we can only do so much for people, you know. And in this situation, like, because I was giving out a lot of grace, because she had always rubbed me the wrong way just by the way that she spoke to people and the way that she spoke to me. And like, I understand that some people have a little bit of like a more sarcastic sort of way of talking, and I think that that's honestly anxiety driven. You know, like they're just putting up a shield so that people don't get to know the real them because they're scared of getting. I was talking about it last night. It's like, man, it's like this. It's just so unfortunate because it's supporting like this narrative that like it's our own people sometimes that get in the way of all of us progressing. And it hurts. You know, to have that be the thing. But even, you know, take race out of the question. The facts are, she lied. She's made people feel uncomfortable. Whatever the hell she looks like.
And that's what's tough. Like, you're coming from the angle of like even your own people, and that's hard to even hear. I didn't even think about the whole like even in the outside world and in this house, our own people. But like ultimately, that's what it is about. I think that it's the person inside, and that's the whole point of like having mixed people and like get together, and that it should all be beyond the skin. Life should be, and hopefully we're all learning and growing of that. And like, it's unfortunate, but like this is the fishbowl, you know, perspective of the world. Like that's kind of like what the experiment is. And yeah, like beyond the skin, it's still like, dude, this is the facts. Like this is what it is, and to progress further, we have to do what we have to do.
I mean, I mean, we're all just a bag of meat and bones at the end of the day. Like, and what really matters is somebody's spirit, somebody's like soul, like somebody's personality, where the heart is. You know, not like the physical heart, but like where the true heart is. You know, and once I see somebody's heart, you know, and you confirm it twice to me, like, yeah, come on. And then everybody else feels the same. Like, I don't care what the hell you look like, you know. So, I'm glad that we came to learn this. I'm just surprised it happened week 1, but you know how Nicole was saying, like, yeah, she she's a really smart girl. I completely agree with what you're saying. She may be maybe intellectually smart. She may not have general knowledge, but as far as the specific social knowledge that
Like
she
the
needs,
awareness.
I don't know if she could be called intelligent after the moves that she's made this week about lying on people, the way she's been communicating to people. Those things are just not smart for somebody who's trying to win Big Brother.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Someone who knew what game they're getting into. Like, yeah.
Exactly. So.